a biased point of view toward your goals, the good and bad of them. This is the Think Your Reality Podcast, episode 66. Hang on, here we go.
Your destiny is by your design. Getting what you want in your professional life is gained by following a series of steps created by your mindset. Are you ready to start the journey? This is the Think Your Reality Podcast. Here's Mike Sims.
Hey, it's Michael, and this is the Think Your Reality Podcast. As always, so grateful to have a minute or two of your time and to spend some time with you. So, biased, the word itself, is a very hot topic word in the world in which we live, as I'm sure you know. It does have some bearing in the goals pursuit. Let's get started. Looking at things without your biased preconceived ideas. Changing your look at things before you actually look at things. This is a very big part of your progress to your aspirations. The podcast is about changing your perspective while not losing your focus on the desired end result. It's difficult to do initially because it's out of the ordinary for us to change our point of view. Yet it has great benefits for you. And aren't we talking about getting you out of your current ordinary? Having to sometimes disregard your conditioning to see things from a different perspective and give you more advantage. The way you look at things at the outset can sway you and have you enter into a business venture or goal with a form of prejudice. If you employed a 360-degree point of view, and I want you to try this, try and see the path to your goals as the way a child might. We often disregard the way they view things to our detriment due to their inexperience. An innocent, non-preconceived point of view is critically important to see and understand the position we are about to employ and the various ways we can go about it. A 360-degree vision may be the most advantageous view and therefore the most beneficial one for us to take advantage of. Lose the bias and gain a better perspective. A mind clearing. My wife claims I clear mine too frequently. I want you to take a legal pad and feverishly write down every possible scenario you can regarding a decision to be made or a goal to be pursued and its outcomes. And then I want you to set it aside and come back to it later. Then examine what you have and assess the possibility of the outcomes, changing your bias and see if anything further has revealed itself to you. I call this concentration, incubation, and revelation. Your initial bias about your understanding of the goals and its attainment can be aided in this practice. You will find your mind revealing things long after your initial idea surfaced. It's often that the new ideas will come with much more value, or just as importantly, give you cause to discard them. Every idea may not be worth the time spent. Investing the mental time on a decision often lends itself to other options that may not have shown themselves earlier. And this is where patience plays big rewards. Be compassionate with you, with your mistakes. We have touched on this, and it bears repeating because I think some of you still employ that. We don't lose, we learn. When you look at missteps in this way, making them doesn't carry the same weight as they did, say, when we were younger. Take a listen to episode 18 of the podcast. It's called There's Money in Mistakes. I believe you will see your past shortfalls as benefits to you and will hold for you other opportunities to grow. If a biased perspective was first implemented, release the mistake and take a different approach. Again, patience and progress. Listen to your heart. Add practical steps and see what comes of the combination. Your goals pursuit should be the mixing of both logic and emotion. Your heart's desire is what points you initially in your life's direction. It must be combined with an actionable plan. Logic and sound, best, worst-case scenarios have to be examined, adjusted, expected, and employed continually. The heart and the mind work very differently. We make decisions about what we want, not necessarily what we need. And I know I do this very frequently when I'm in Home Depot. Examine your bias expectations. Let me ask you, did you go into a decision with all of the points, paths, and possible obstacles covered? Probably not. Did you discover more as you progressed? Did the thoughts you had give birth to others that will launch more impact on your life and others? Probably. Can you see now how your expectations can be exceeded and extend your influence and goals attained? I will forever be an advocate of examining and exceeding your expectations for the simple reason that we are forever in a state of change, and change for the better. You have every right to raise your expectations for your life. And then in defense of, why shouldn't we have a biased point of view with what we want for our lives? They are our lives, our wants, our desires, and our goals. It's our life's script, our show, our biased point of view with respect to our definition of success and what we want. In this regard, a biased vision, I believe, is warranted. It's all about claiming our life's direction, mistakes, and ultimately our victory. By virtue of it being our definition of life, it's a biased one, and we are entitled to that by the very nature of being born. Claim it as you have the right to do. My name is Mike Sims. This is the Think Your Reality podcast. And as I say to you, and always will, have an absolutely awesome day. You deserve nothing less.